last week's response and last week's video that we're excited to bring this number 2 video to you today. This is regarding about mindset and the idea of once you make the decision that you want to change, need to change, the struggle is going to be, how do I change? What am I going to do? Where do I start? And immediately, this is where most people fail. They're scared, they hesitate, and it's just too much, and they don't begin the process. So today, we're going to give you some lighthearted, fun information, some things that you can do, and how it can get started. So we're going to dive deep into the art of really, it's kind of rewiring our thinking. And of course, I'm going to be your co-host, Mike, and alongside me is the brilliant Sheri, the co-author of Next 24, your ultimate mindset companion. Sheri, say hello.
Hi, guys. Hope you're all having a great day. It's such a joy to be here and have all of you joining us. Yes, Mike, Next 24, our book isn't just a website. Besides being a book, it's a mind, body, and spirit community where we lift each other up and help each other out. If you haven't gone on our website yet, go ahead and check it out at next24book.com.
Exactly. It's a wonderful website. It's still being built. There's some things being done, but you can go on it and take a look. And I'm just so excited for what that website brings and for the future. I want to share with you a picture. I'd like you to just picture prior to this book being written, feeling down, feeling lost, feeling like there's just no life. It's just a dark, dark place. And I'm sure you've been there. And if you have, imagine yourself standing at the crossroads of your thoughts. And the signposts read, Limitation Lane and Possibility Boulevard. My question to you is, which path will you choose? Today, we're going to unlock the miracle mindset of shift, the way of thinking. Sheri, could you share with us, why is this journey so darn important?
Well, my mind shifts are like rewiring our brain. We're changing the way that we think. It affects everything from our mind to our body to our spirit. When we change the thoughts, we change everything, the mind, body, and the spirit. It's a whole shift. It's a whole shift, just almost from top to bottom. We change our thinking, and when we do that, it changes our attitude. It changes our attitudes, and it changes our hearts.
No, absolutely, it sure does. And it's so difficult, as I said. You always get pulled back by negative thinking, by day-to-day activity, by struggles in your work, struggles in your health, struggle with finances, struggling at home. It can be just such a difficult time. But joy is really just a sprinkle of laughter. It's a symphony of the soul. And if you look at our book, Next 24's title is Discover Happiness and True Joy in Your Life While You Create a Legacy. Sheri, why should the listeners care about joy beyond the fleeting happiness?
Well, first of all, joy is such a God-given gift. And it is a gift. It's watching the sunrise. It's being with your family, feeling the dew underneath your feet in the summertime on the grass. My favorite is the sweet and fun laughter of a small child. We're going to explore the gratitude, the mindfulness, and the secret ingredient, which is childlike wonder. So get ready to dance with joy, my friends. It's about time.
Oh, that's great. Yes, it is. You know, you think about positive thoughts, but positive thoughts can be fleeting. And I can share with you over the years that, of course, when I was young, yes, I was positive, had tremendous positive thoughts, had ideal dreams, ideal goals, and things I wanted to do. But then over time, reality hit. Life is hard. Life is difficult. You have death. You have family members who die, family members who struggle with alcoholism, mental illness, and depression. And so your own thoughts become heavy. Your life become heavy. How many of you had fears of getting out of bed in the morning, didn't want to go to work, didn't want to go to school? If you're a high school student or college student, do you have test anxiety? Do you have fear of those tests? Do you have fears that maybe you don't want to go to college, but you feel forced to? Or it's your first job and you have anxiety about taking orders from a boss or listening to coworkers. So then you have negative thoughts, negative dreams, negative worries that create anxiety, stress, and trauma. Today, we're going to really focus on the positive thoughts. Positive thoughts really can be like vitamins. They nourish your mind. Sheri, let's unveil our three powerful tools that can help begin that mindset. Number one, I'd like to say gratitude. Practice daily doses of thank you. How many of you don't do that? But if you stop and think, just the gratitude, think of this, gratitude of getting up every morning and be able to step out of bed, to have a breath, to be able to do the things that you get to do as far as activities, working out, be able to think, be able to solve problems, be able to do just some of the basic things that we all take for granted, but the practice of gratitude or the practice of thanking that best friend, that family member. You know, for me, and I'll have to chuckle, my best friend for years over time, when I was feeling lonely, I had a German Shepherd. His name was Soldier. He was my best friend. He was the one that when I came home to the door and answered the door, there he was, wagging his tail. Always there for me. So the gratitude and gratefulness. That particular German Shepherd passed away of cancer. And it's so sad. He was the type of dog should never have died like that. But he's the one that saved my life during times of darkness. And I thank him. And I have such gratitude. Now, you may laugh and think it was just a dog, but no. He was much, much more than that. He was a best friend. He was a companion. And he got me through those darkest times. I have gratitude for life and simple things like that. Number two is the mindfulness, the meditation. Just think about it day by day. Just breathe. Just breathe. Let it go. And then repeat. Mindfulness isn't just for yogas. It's for everyday superheroes, just like you. You're a superhero to your family, to your friends, the people that really care about you. Think about affirmations. How many of you don't do affirmations? But go onto your mirror tonight. Grab a marker and write on that mirror and just write out what you're thankful for, what you're happy about, what's important to you, and write those affirmations down and visualize it. Visualize what's the one thing you're going to do tomorrow to improve your life. Visualize the next step, next 24 hours. What's going to be the next step for you to discover your happiness, your true joy in your life as you create your legacy? What's going to be your legacy? What do you want that to be? Visualize that and write those affirmations. Really, the affirmations and visualization just a dress rehearsal for real life.
Mike, have you ever felt trapped in a mental maze, so to speak, where you're like a hamster on a wheel and your thoughts are just going and going and going and you just can't get them to stop? I mean,
all the time.
We go through disappointments. We rehearse old scripts in our minds. We have rusty old thought patterns. Ugh, I just hate that. And that seems the biggest battleground sometimes, is getting through things. It's just in your mind. But guess what? You're the one who holds the key, and that's where you need to break free. What do we do when negative thoughts threaten to take over? Once again, we start rehashing that stuff. And first thing we need to do is recognize the trap. In the Bible, in Lamentations, it says that my soul continually remembers it. Negative thoughts are just like that hamster wheel. They just go round and round. It isn't fun, and it doesn't stop. But once again, the Bible says, this I call to mind, and therefore, even though I remember this, I still have hope that we can make a big change. And that changes everything. God doesn't leave us helpless to spiral in that negative process. We can call to mind our hope, and that helps train our brains toward better thought processes. The next thing is to shift your perspective. The Bible tells us that you need to take all of those thoughts captive. Imagine if you were a boy or even a girl playing cowboys and Indians, and even the shows that we watch, they'd wrap that lasso around all of the bad guys and take them captive. That's what we need to do with our thoughts, and that's what we need to do with our minds, is to take them captive so they don't take us captive. One thing that helps with that is just remembering that the steadfast of the Lord never ceases. Once again, another Bible verse. We can deliberately recall the goodness for our future. We can ground ourselves in the present, in the next 24 hours, in this 24 hours. Our minds tend to get stuck when we dwell on the past. We need to remember that every day is new every morning. God gives us a new morning every single day, every 24 hours. We have a chance to start over fresh no matter how bad we screwed up the last 24 hours. The last one is to disrupt your disappointments. You need to adjust your expectations and practice self-compassion. That is a really hard one for me. I'm still learning and still practicing that concept. Sometimes one of the things that you can do when you're starting to get caught up in all of those negative thoughts, start reciting an alphabetical gratitude list. Start with A, go to Z. Start with A, come up with something you're thankful for. Go from A to B and keep going down until you feel that peace in your heart, that peace in your mind. And just say, I'm thankful for A, the apple that I get a bite into and taste that sweetness today. B, the breath in my lungs that keeps me walking upright today. C, my children. D, a dog, a pet, even though pet starts with P. Anyways, we have the ability to train our brains to come back to today and to the moment and to look for God's goodness right there in that moment. The Lord is our portion. We can declare that. That is an eternal reality.
Oh, it certainly is. Very good. Next 24, it can be your anchor. It can be your compass. It's just not a book. It's not just a social platform. It's just not just a website or anything like that. Mm-hmm. This is really a book, a 286-page book with a workbook. It's available on Amazon.com. It's available on Barnes & Noble. As Sheri put it so gracefully a couple weeks ago, it's a labor of love. We are not authors. We're just your common people who want to reach out and help. We think we've created something special. We feel that God's touched every page of this book, and God can touch you. God can help you if you feel lost or just hopeless. This is where to start. Take it day by day and do the exercises in the book, and you'll feel the Holy Spirit begin to fill your body and mind and soul. But as I talk about this book, and as I just said, it really helps you with your mind, the body, and we kind of call it a spirit gym. It's really, you're going to be working out day by day to get stronger mentally, physically, and emotionally. It fuels you in how you do your transformation. Really a lot of challenges. When we talk about mindset challenges, it's just daily nudges. When you grab hold of this, make a commitment to it. Look at it day by day so that you shift gears. Get out of that slow gear that's clunking along down the highway where you're just miserable, unhappy, and not getting anywhere, just grinding your gears. But if you shift gears, you're going to be on that highway, and you're going to go fast, and you're going to enjoy your life. Look at daily journals. One of the best things I ever did was start writing a daily journal. Once I started understanding that the thoughts in your mind, putting it down on paper and let it flow, it allows all that trauma, allows all that pain to be poured out onto the page. And you're able to clear your mind, your body, your spirit, and you're able to go and get that cleaned out. You can start fresh. You can start now. But it takes work. There's no easy path. There's no easy way. This is hard work. But you've got to be committed. Like I said, you've got two ways on the road. You can have a limited road or you're not unlimited path to where you go. And also, we want to provide community support. We have a Facebook page on Next 24, personal development page, where we want to share, get back to the old school, get back to the old ways of simply talking to each other, sharing books with each other, sharing stories with each other, share what's going on in the community, what's going on at the particular church, what maybe new group is being played. Love Church. What's
KB, he's an amazing contemporary Christian artist. He's fun, he's energetic, he can dance like no other, he can sing like no other. And it's exciting. It's exciting. And those are the things that we want to encourage you to do. That's a big one. Look into that. Go to the Love Church website and you'll be able to get information on that concert.
Oh, exactly. Another example is in this book, we talk a lot about Dave Ramsey, because Dave Ramsey simply talks about the baby steps, how to get out of debt. When you're on a limited income and your rent, if you look at the current trends, rent is going up 10, 12, 15% year after year after year. That's cutting into your budget. you've got to find ways to find income. And for me, I decided on doing two things. I decided to work overtime at work. I was just committed. I'm going to work extra hours at work, get time and a half at work. I'm going to take that extra money that I used for overtime money and pay off my debts. Well, once I did that and paid off my car, paid off my credit cards, I was astonished. I ended up coming up with an extra about $750 more money per month once I got everything paid off. It's worth the effort. It's worth the work. At the time, it sucks. It sucks. I'll just take it right there. It's no fun. It's hard. You're working all the overtime. You're not getting able to go out and do a lot of things because you're tired. But the goal in mind, the prize at the end of the road is my debt was paid off, and I was able to take the stress off my back and take that pressure off me, paying off my debt, paying off my credit cards, watching my credit score go up. My credit score was very low or average once I paid off my debts, and I made sure that I paid everything on time, and I used those Dave Ramsey concepts. My credit score went up into the very good range instead of the below average range. Getting at that point, Dave Ramsey classes in Omaha will be presented at Christ Community Church. So if you go on to cccomaha.org, cccomaha.org, you'll be able to find at Christ Community Church website where they provide Dave Ramsey courses. So I would strongly recommend
and
that.
You don't have to be a member to sign up for their classes. You can sign up for their classes and go ahead and take the classes, and definitely worth looking into. You know, it's, I think, Mike, you were going to maybe just talk to them about one of the books that was helpful.
I want to recommend that. Yeah.
In your process, in your journey.
I did. I wanted to share with you in this process my own personal journey as I was going through this. You know, my mindset at this time prior to this, I didn't realize it at the time, was very narrow, was getting darker and darker day by day because I was tired. I was frustrated with the world around me. But I didn't, as Sheri was talking earlier about traps, I was not recognizing the trap that I was putting myself into, which I was not enjoying my life. I was not enjoying the people around me. I was a robot. I would get up, go to work, go home, watch TV, might go work out once in a while, go to bed, get up and do it all over again. Just do the same thing. Friends of people would say, "Hey, Mike, you want to go do this?" I go, "No, I'm busy. Can't do it. Won't do it." And I found myself over time, boy, I was really missing out. There's so much going on in this world. Good things, fun things, things that you can experience. And I'm embarrassed to say over the years, I denied myself true happiness, true joy, because I wasn't allowing myself to grow. I wasn't allowing myself to get out there and see the world, see new things, meet new people, and experience all the good things that God has created, all the good things that God wants us to explore and learn. And I was limited on really building up a relationship with God because I was so distracted by distracted by my subconscious saying, my life, I'm forgotten about. No one cares about me. Here's that negative subconscious. No one cares. I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm bitter, I'm frustrated. God does not care about me. God does not care or respond to me when I pray. Those are all negative thinking, negative thoughts that brought me down. And so, but when I realized, as I told in part one of this, realized that if I continue to live my life the way I'm living it, I'm going to die unhappy, unfulfilled, unsuccessful, and that's sad. And I don't want that to happen to you or anyone who's listening to this. This is why we're doing this. Next 24 is not for Sheri and I. We're not doing this to see ourselves on YouTube, Facebook, or television. We see a real problem in this world. And the real problem in this world is sin, and that the gap, the divide between God and its people is getting wider and wider and wider. And you don't even know what's happening to you as you're getting negative, you're not allowing yourself to be happy. You're not allowing yourself to explore. You're not allowing yourself to learn and grow and have a really enjoyable life. And you can do this. You can, if you make the commitment to change. If you make the commitment to say, no more. I am not going to live this way no more. And go ahead and get angry about it, and get angry about it, and get angry at yourself, and look in that mirror and say, today it stops. Today it's going to end. Tomorrow I start fresh. Tomorrow I start new. But you need a process in how to do this, or it's too difficult.
And don't let yourself get into the situation and get to the point, which I think Mike and I kind of did at different times, where you are in so deep in that dark hole that you don't even know which way is up, that you don't even know how you're going to pull out of it, whether it's financial, whether it's relationship,
Yes.
whether it's in the workplace. It's easy just to blow it off and go, well, it'll get better tomorrow. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't always get better tomorrow. So, like Mike said, we're in this to help you only because we have walked this road. Yep. We have walked this road. And for heaven's sake, that doesn't make us experts by any means.
No. The two things that I would recommend to you today is, number one, make the commitment that you want to change your life. Make changes. They could be small changes. Small changes become big results. And number two is start reading books. Start reading. What I found is, and there's science based behind this, that when you start reading books, it changes your thoughts, it changes your mind patterns, it changes your behavior. So the number one book that I would, as right now in this process as part 2, would be the book Think and Grow Rich. I've seen this book for years, and I was under the assumption that it was, it's all about money. It's all about making the dollar. Well, that's not at all. That's not the case. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, it's really a timeless classic. It's inspired millions of people throughout the world. It was written, imagine, this book was written in 1937. Think of that time, during the Depression, during those difficult times. Those times during the 30s and 40s were terrible, difficult times. But yet this book, Napoleon Hill had such a tremendous insight on the human mind, on behavior, and what you can do. And I'm just going to share with you a few takeaways from this influential book. So if you were taking notes right now, I would write these down. But the number one thing in this book, the takeaway, is desire. The starting point of all achievement is desire. It's having a burning passion for your goals is essential. Without a strong desire, think about this, mere wishing won't lead to riches. Number 2 is faith. Believe in yourself. How many of you truly believe in yourself, or do you have some type of doubt? I doubted myself for a long time. Believe in yourself and your ability to achieve your dreams. Faith is the fuel that propels you forward, even when faced with challenges. Keep the faith. Number 3, he uses the word autosuggestion. I know that sounds like a fancy term, but basically, your subconscious mind plays a crucial role in the shaping of your destiny. It's that little voice in your head that either says you can't or you can. Use positive affirmations and visualization of your success. Program that in your mind. See the future. Visualize that future. Write it down. And we'll get more into, as we move forward, we'll talk about vision boards and bucket lists and just how that shapes you and gets you propelled forward to achieve the things that you want to achieve. And God's a part of this. God, don't believe, even though it seems like we're not talking about God right now, it is. God wants us to use our minds, body, and spirit for growth. And you'll see that as we talk about moving forward. But number 4 is mastermind groups. Well, that's a fancy term, but really what that means is surround yourself with like-minded individuals who share your goal. Start networking, start getting into groups, Go to the churches that you like to go to. Get into a Bible study. Get into a Dave Ramsey workshop. Get into any of these workshops that some of these churches are providing. They're like-minded people to where you can exchange ideas and tap into collective wisdom to accelerate your progress. Share your goals and dreams with people who you care about. Share with them. Hold each other accountable. It's extremely helpful. Number 5 is persistence. I was not good at this. I was always inconsistent instead of persistent because of stress, worry, and doubt, because I wasn't always getting people's affirmations from other people. Do you feel that way? Mm-hmm. Yeah, always looking for affirmations from others. And I'll just share a tip with you. It doesn't matter what other people think. It matters what you think. It matters what you do right now. So it sounds selfish, but it isn't. What I realized, and I felt 1,000 pounds lifted off my shoulders, and I think Sheri did too, is instead of looking outward for your happiness and joy, right now, take the time to look inward. Search your heart. Search your mind. Search your soul. Ask God for help. Pray about it. And I'll share more about this later, but I believe that when you pray to God and you show God, this is what you really would like out of life. And I don't mean money, I don't mean material things, but search your God-given gift. What are your true talents? What is it in your heart that you want to do? Not what others want you to do, but what you deeply want to do before your time on earth is done. What is it you want to do? Answer that question today. Not tomorrow. Don't hesitate. Be specific. If you've got a notepad right now, write those down. What is it you want to do today, moving forward? You'll find that. And be persistent. Persistency. Successful people don't give up easily. When faced with obstacles, practice stubbornness. Be stubborn and keep pushing forward. Learn from the failures and adapt your strategies. Number 6. Cultivate a positive mental attitude. Your thoughts influences your actions, so focus on abundance and success and prosperity. In closing with this, remember these principles aren't just about financial wealth. They apply to all aspects of life. Apply the wisdom from Think and Grow Rich to unlock your potential and create the life you desire. Sheri, do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I do. First of all, and this is just a little bit, not off the subject, but when Mike talked about the daily affirmations, you can actually, if you can't think of anything to write, we were given a wonderful gift, kind of in a grab bag gift from my daughter, and it's just this little jar. It says daily affirmations on the top. There's little wooden hearts in here, and every day what we do is we take the lid off, we pull it out, and this is our affirmation for the day. The one I just pulled out for today says, I am worth it. When you're struggling with insecurities, this could mean all the difference in the world for your day. If you just keep saying, wait a minute, this is going wrong, but guess what? I'm worth it. I'm worth it. And there's all sorts of little things in here. There also is, there's a deck of cards you can get on Amazon or at Five Below. It's affirmation cards. You just pick one out like a card deck. It's going to give you basically the same thing. Mike talked about the book, Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. Well, even though he doesn't talk about Bible verses and biblical principles, those two basically intersect each other. The book approaches wealth and wisdom from different perspectives, and so does the Bible. There's some relevant passages that align with the principles that's discussed in that book. I'm just going to kind of throw these out there really quick. I was just going to do one, but I'm going to just touch on a couple. In Luke 12:16-21, talks about the parable Jesus told a rich man experiences an abundant harvest. Instead of sharing his wealth, he plans to build bigger barns and hold on to all of his stuff, and he's very, very greedy. But what he doesn't understand is that very night, he's going to lose his life. He's going to die. And God tells him, who will get what you have prepared for yourself? You're holding on to this stuff. We've all heard the term, you can't take it with you. The lesson here is that is accumulating wealth and being rich isn't always being rich towards God. You can have a lot of wealth and have a lot of wealth in God. you just have to be a good steward of your money. Proverbs 11:24. One person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. Sometimes people hold on to their stuff and their money so tight that they lose it. They lose it because that's all they're concentrating on. You have to show some generosity. You have to help your fellow man. You have to give freely. And that's just not always throwing a $20 in the collection plate at church. That's if you know your neighbor's going to have some surgery. Take a meal over there. You know, those kind of things. But my favorite is Proverbs 4:23-25. Be careful what you think, because your thoughts run your life. Don't use your mouth to tell lies. Don't ever say things that are not true. Keep your eyes focused on what is right. Look straight ahead to what is good. This passage highlights the importance of mindset, positive thinking, and integrity in achieving success in your life. And that's your mind, your body, and your spirit. While Think and Grow Rich doesn't directly quote all of these Bible verses, the underlying principles of mindset, stewardship, and abundance resonate with both teachings. Remember that wealth encompasses more than material things. It includes spiritual richness and wisdom as well. You can be the richest person in the world, but have the smallest bank account. Don't ever, ever forget that.
Oh, well done, Sheri. That's excellent. Well, there you have it. In wrapping this up today, I just want to remind you that working on your mind, you can not only reset your mind, you can reset the world. Wanted to piggyback on a Christ Community Church has a program going on called Reach One More. And I found that to be interesting. They're very working on trying to work hard in the community of Omaha in the area of reaching one more, praying for that one more person who needs help, bringing one more person to the church who needs that help. Well, we'd like to do that same thing with Next 24. I'd like you to please share this information, share this book with one more person in your life who may need it. And wrapping this up, I know it seems like there's just pieces of puzzles laying out on the floor. I just want to conclude that moving forward in each chapter with this book, we'll keep helping you share or prepare in preparation and planning. That's really the key to so much of this, preparing and planning. I encourage you to look up Louise Hayes regarding affirmations. I encourage you to begin to search out Billy Graham. He has a daily devotion book called Hope for Daily Devotions, which that's another book I'll share for another time, but that book helped me get through this. It was the strongest book I've had that helped me get through day by day. Looking at that. We'll be also talking about daily devotions. Using a day planner. How many don't use a day planner? Sometimes they use your phone. I'd strongly encourage you to focus and look at your habits on using a planner day by day. And ask yourself this question. Number one is, what are my goals for today? Number two, what must I get done today? Number three, what's expected of me today? There's another question to ask yourself each day is, what's the biggest threat to myself if I don't do this today? And the final question is, what does God expect me to do today? So if you use those types of questions in your planning each day, you'll be amazed at how far you'll grow, how much you'll learn, how much you'll do, and how much that your heart, mind, spirit will grow better. So till next time,